All right, everybody. My first guest tonight is an Oscar-winning actor. He has been in over 60 films, including The Ten Commandments, Ben-Hur, and my personal favorite, The Planet of the Apes. He's also an author, and his new book is entitled Charlton Heston's Hollywood. It's 50 years in American film. Please welcome Charlton Heston. Have a seat right there. You know, this is a little odd, and I probably shouldn't bring it up, but you've been on the show several times. Yeah, last time you were on the show, at the end of the interview, you promised me, you said, next time I come on the show, you can call me Chuck. I
remember that, yeah.
Can I call you Chuck?
I changed my mind. Next time. Next time.
How about Chucky, you know?
Going the wrong way.
Yeah, Mr. Heston. I'll behave, I promise.
You can't be too careful with this guy.
Yeah, no, you got to be careful. Well, this is, you know, your book brings to mind recently that they came out with a list, that they say the definitive list of the top 100 films of all time, and Ben-Hur was in there. You must have been very pleased with that.
Yeah, I was pleased with that.
Now, were you pleased when it came out in the press that President Clinton and Vice President Gore were two of the people that voted?
Yeah, that struck me as strange. They don't seem to have any background for picking motion pictures, or of course there's some that say they don't have any background for governance either, but that's not for me to say.
I've never heard anyone say that. I know what you're talking about. Well, let's go there then for just a second, because you're very well known for your political views. How do you feel about President Clinton now that this whole scandal has broken?
Well, the best voice to speak to that is Mr. Shakespeare, who seemed somehow to know almost everything about almost everybody. And in Richard II, he has 4 lines, which I'd like to read you, that seem to me to fit the current situation of our president. Richard II, having been deposed from office, they're trying to decide what to do with him. And he says, "Oh, that I were as great as is my grief, or lesser than my name. Oh, that I could forget what I have been, or not remember what I must be now."
Do you have a quote like that for everything? I picture you in a restaurant, and the waiter is like, "What would you like to have?" "I think Coriolanus will say it best." "Oh, that I should have the veal! Bring it now. That is my meal," you know.
Very good.
What? That's actually Coriolanus. Do you have a quote? People sometimes are just like, please, not the Shakespeare quote, just tell us. You know, listening to you right now, you have such a fantastic voice. And of course, you yourself, you've become this film presence over the years. And it must be hard for you. People associate you with Moses. They associate you with these great heroic figures. It must be hard for you to say something frivolous. Do you know what I mean? It must be hard for you to say something like, "Oh, I'd like to get me some pudding," you know? "This is damn tasty corn," you know? You have to, what you say has to live up to the fact that you're Charlton Heston, right?
I guess so, yeah. It's, I tell you, it's a hard life, Conan.
Yeah.
Hard life.
You know, what's it like when you, people must recognize you on the phone all the time? When you call for a pizza or something. "There shall be no anchovies."
That's exactly what I say every time. Yeah. No anchovies.
I would love to take the pizza order from you. Do people recognize you then? That's over the phone? They just know it's you, right?
I think, yeah.
Now, we talked a second ago about President Clinton's troubles. You were on the show once, and you were talking about how you had a special clearance. It's called Q clearance. This was a clearance that President Reagan gave you. President Bush extended it. It allowed you, I guess, to go on military bases to do...
If I tell you what it allows, I have to kill you.
So, any more Shakespeare quotes? No, but, so you were given this clearance, Then, of course, it went away during the Democratic administration.
Well,
do you think that
it was
there's
one of President Clinton's first acts in office.
Was
I
true.
suppose I should take to cancel the Q clearance.
Right, and so if he's impeached now, if he leaves office, there's some chance you'd get your Q clearance back. Is that why you're rooting for it, probably? I mean, do you want that Q clearance?
It's crossed my mind.
Really? Yeah. What did you get to do? Did you get to ride around in tanks and stuff? And you can't say what Q clearance is?
I'm not going to tell you, Conan. I told you once now. We mustn't quarrel like this.
Okay, I'll find out soon enough. Why don't you have a drink from your mug?
It might be spiked. I can't take that kind of shit.
Andy has a ring. Q clearance is the most... you obviously love Shakespeare. It upsets you that more actors don't do Shakespeare.
Well, they're shortchanging themselves. I was, just a few months ago, I was in a restaurant, and the next table I saw Robert De Niro sitting all by himself, and I'd never met him, but I went over to him and I said, Mr. De Niro, we've never met, but I can't resist the chance to tell you that I think you're perhaps the best film actor, American film actor of your generation. And I also have to say that you must do Shakespeare. An actor of your abilities has to do those parts. And he said, yeah, people tell me that all the time. And I realized I'd irritated him, so I said, look, I'm sorry I intruded on you, but I am right, and I am right. He is a marvelous actor, maybe the best. Isn't that true? Best American film actor? You can't.
He was probably just startled that you didn't say, like, oh, hey, how are you, first, or something. That you sprung up behind the breadsticks. You must do Shakespeare. Now I take my leave. You know? I mean, that's probably what startled him more than anything else.
It was. I shouldn't have come up behind him and grabbed him by the shoulder. Yeah.
You hit him with your Moses
Listen,
staff.
Mr. De Niro, I'll tell you something.
Don't do that. I have the torso of an 8-year-old boy. You could have killed me. Something I have to ask you, I read it in an interview once, I think it was with James Cameron. When he was casting True Lies, he cast you as the head of the CIA because you were the only actor he could think of who could plausibly be intimidating to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. He didn't mean the real Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he meant the character.
You could take the real Schwarzenegger, too, I think.
I said, if I can face down the Pharaoh of Egypt, I can intimidate Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's basically what I do in films, go around intimidating people.
Did you, when he walked on the set, did you say, oh, this is a piece of cake, I can intimidate this guy?
Well, actually, I knew him. He's a nice guy, really.
And he must do Shakespeare.
Well, okay, you can call me Chuck.
I can call you Chuck, all right. I've earned the right to call you Chuck. Yeah. All right. It doesn't sound right coming from me, you know. Hiya, Chuck! I'll call you Mr. Heston. The book, Charlton Heston's Hollywood, it's 50 Years in American Film, it's out in stores right now, so people should go check that out.
Please buy it.
Please buy it. Please. I command you as God. Buy this book, or a plague shall fall upon you.
And put off your shoes from off your feet before you come into the bookstore.
Okay. All right. I don't know what the hell that was. All right.
You guys know what that's from.
What is that from?
That's what God says to Moses
at
the burning bush. Well,
I'm Catholic. It's always great when you're on the show. We always have a good time with you.
Thank you,
But
Conan.
thanks for coming by.
Great pleasure.
Seriously. Charlton Heston, Peter Gallagher. Oh, stay for one more second. Peter Gallagher's coming up. We'll be right back.